everybody and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, this is the first official video of 2026 and today we are doing my 2026 bookish reset. So basically there's a few things that I want to do just to get myself ready for the new year, and I have written myself down a little list of things that I need to do ready for my 2026 year of reading. So there's 8 things on this list and I'll put a screenshot of it here, what I've written down. But we have update my book spreadsheet, which is something that I have been doing religiously for about a year now. Basically my book spreadsheet is just like my physical TBR. They're the books that I currently own, and it says whether I've read them, what I rated them, and how I read them, whether that was on my Kindle, that was an audiobook, or a physical book. Then we have update my physical TBR shelf on Goodreads. I like to have a physical TBR shelf on my Goodreads just for when I do videos like reading the highest and lowest rated books on my physical TBR, or if I'm doing like anything to do with that and I need like easy access to my physical TBR, I have that. Then I want to reflect on my 25 books in 2025 as well as my 12 books from 12 friends list, because I set those at the start of the year and I want to see how I've done on both of those lists. Then I need to make my 26 books in 2026 list. I need to reorganise my bookshelves because I have gotten a lot of books for myself recently, and I also got a couple of books for my birthday and Christmas, so I need to reorganise my shelves so I can make room to add all of them on. I need to update my series tracker because I finished a couple of series and I've also started a couple of new series, so we need to update all of that. And then finally, because I'm filming this video from now, which is the 22nd of December, I think. Yes, the 22nd of December all the way up until the 1st of January, I need to set my reading goal on Goodreads, Fable and Storygraph because I use all 3 of them because I'm a nerd. But yeah, that is my list of goals ready for this video. I'm very excited about this, and I think the first thing I'm probably going to do is I'm going to update my series tracker, because I've started quite a few series recently and I've finished a couple of series, so I feel like that needs to be done. Okay, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to update my book series tracker, just because that is something that I can get done pretty quickly. So let me go on to my book series tracker. So I downloaded this, I think, May. I downloaded it at the start of 2025 just so I could track all the series that I was in the middle of. So now let's go through and tick off all the books that I've finished. So okay, I've officially completed the Rose Hill series by Elsie Silver, not Al Kennedy. So I've read all the books in that series, so I can tick that one off and then just move it down. God, let me click it, there we go. There. Okay, next, what else is on the list? Okay, I also finished the Devil's Night series. Mark that one as completed, and I've read all of them. I finished the Powerless series because I read the last novella in that series. Okay, can't update anything. Windy City, the Imperium series, no. Boys of Torment, no. Court of Thorns and Roses, no. Hell's Bells, no. Lightlock, no. Playing for Keeps, I've just completed that series as well. I've read all of the books in that series, so I can tick off Playing for Keeps. Willow Ridge, I'm up to date on that series because I've read book 2, so I can move that one up to there. I like to have all of my like up-to-date ones in progress and not started ones together. Boys of Avix, no. Crimson Moth, no. Vancouver Storm, no. Crescent City, Part of Your World, I've read 2 of the books in that series now. I can up that. Maximum Ride, no. Wicked Games, no. Infernal Devices, not even started. Not started. Love Like Farms, I have started that one. So that one I can put as in progress because I read book 1 in that series. And then mark that as 1 and then move that up. I don't know if I'll finish the entire series for that one, but because I don't particularly like Love Like Farms all that much, but you know. Everly Heath I can update because I'm up to date on that one at the moment because book 2 has not come out yet. It comes out next year though, and I am very excited. So let's move that one up to date. Next book, which is called, I think, Take a Hike, comes out next year, and I'm very excited about it. Not read any of these ones. No. Okay, I've not read any of those ones. I need to add a couple of series in though that I have started, so I need to have a look on my Goodreads, which I'll do on my iPad. Okay, so I've started the Game Changers series. So, set right below. Game Changers Romance. It's a complete series. And in progress, there's 6 books. And I've not finished the first book, but I'm in the process of reading it, so move that one there. What else have I started recently? Okay, let me quickly just go over this. So I've got the Mile High series that I need to add on by Jennifer J. Williams, and I'm up to date on that series, so I can add it up here. It's an ongoing series. I'm up to date. There's 3 out, and I've read all 3 as of right now. Then there's a Swift Hat Trick series, which I'm in the progress of reading. Swift Hat Trick. Oh my god, I hate that I haven't done any of that capitalised. 1 second. Swift Hat Trick series. That's by Hannah Cowan. It's a romance series. It's completed. I'm in progress of reading it, and it has technically 5 books because it has 2 novellas in it, and I've read 3 of them. So, you know, that's a slay. I've started the Housemaid trilogy. That is a, oh, not dystopian, it's thriller. It's completed, and it has, so I'm in progress. It has 3 books in it, and I've read book 1 and I read that pretty recently, and it was so good. It's at this moment that I'm realising that the codes aren't working, so I need to do that. So equals, yes. So any of the ones I have to fix? I don't think so. I think it was just those three. Cool. Okay. Cool. Oh, this one. What's this one? Snowbell Ridge series. I need to do that one. I'm in the progress of reading that one because I could have done up to date, but I'm not anymore because the last one came out. Oh my god. Snowbell Ridge. This is another Hannah Cowan series. This is a romance. This is like a little mini like novella series that I'm reading by her. It's completed, I think, because I think the one that came out recently was the last one that she's doing for it. So I'm just gonna put it as completed for now, unless it's, you know, says otherwise. There's 3 books in it, and I have read 2 of them. And of course, this isn't doing its thing again. There we go. I have to do that. What other series have I started reading recently? I've done those ones. Oh, I think this is going to be part of a series? Yes, it is. It's the Harbour of Hope series, and I'm up to date with it at the moment because only book 1 has come out, which is another Hannah Cowan series. I've started reading a lot of Hannah Cowan recently, I'm not going to lie. So insert below. Harbour of Hope. It's a romance series. It's ongoing. I'm up to date. There's only 1 book in the series, and I've read that book. Oh, I need to fix this. So it's G. Oh my god. What row is this? 25 minus H. 25. Yep, there we go. Cool. Is there any other series I started recently? Oh, did I knocked off the Natural series because I finished reading that? I think I already did. Yes, I did. I already ticked off the Natural series. Oh, I need to, have I added on Fate Hollow Academy? I don't think I have. Controller, Fate. No, I have not. That's another one that I'm in the progress of reading, so insert below. Fate Hollow Academy. This is a fantasy book. It's completed. I'm in progress of reading it. There's 4 books in the series, and I've read 2 of them. Okay, cool. And then I need to do the freaking codes again because it doesn't like, there we go. What else is there? Okay, I think that is all of the series that I've started recently. I can't be 100% sure because... Oh, wait, nope. This one, which I started by a new author because I read an arc of her book. But I'm up to date on it because only 1 book is out, so I need to put that up here in the up-to-date category. Insert row below. It's called the Chain series. By Evie Winters, because I got an arc. It was her debut novel. I've actually really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4-star. This is a romance series. It is a dark romance. It's ongoing, and I'm up to date. There's only 1 book in the series so far, and I've read that 1 book. And then I need to do this again. G, what row is this? 27. 27 minus H, 27. Done that one, done The Housemaid, done that, done that, done that, done Willow Ridge, done Everly Heath, done Devil's Night. I DNF'd that one. I think I've done all of them now. Yeah, because the other ones are series that I started and the ones that I'm not going to continue reading. Okay, cool. Okay, so that is my series tracker spreadsheet updated. So I'm now currently have 76 series on my TBR that I've started. I've completed 26 of them. I'm up to date on 10 of them, and I have 45 series to finish. God help me. And my progress is 47%. Oh, well, it's fine. Okay. So yes, that is my series tracker spreadsheet now all updated. God, why have I done this to myself? Oh, okay, that's it for now. Okay, so one of the things I forgot to add to my list that I still wanted to show you guys is my pages that I did in my 2025 journal, and then I wanted to show you guys how I set up my 2026 reading journal. My 2025 journal isn't a reading journal, it's just one that I basically set up for myself that I wanted to do. But I added a couple of bookish pages into it, so I wanted to show you guys that. The reason this page here is covered because this is actually just like my normal journal and I write how I feel in it, and I don't particularly want to share my personal thoughts right now. But yeah, so one of the pages that I did was this one here. This is just my 2025 reading wrap up page, and it basically, what I've done is for every single month I've done the books I've read each month. So in January I read 18. The pages read, so I read 6,334 pages in January. My average rating for the month, which was 4-star for January, and then the hours listened to like audiobooks, which for January was 29.87 hours. And it just like looked really, I just really wanted to do this just so I could kind of add like what I'd done each month for like reading wise. So like on the first page here, we have just all the way from January up until June. And then I've got July until December on this page. Obviously, I haven't filled in December yet because as I'm filming this, it is still December. And then right next to December, I have my book of the year list, which this page here, I downloaded this from a Etsy shop and then I printed it out on my printer. So I will add in I'll put the name of the Etsy shop on the screen for you guys, and then I'll also link them below in the description. I bought these pages, I bought them for my new bullet journal, but I wanted to add a couple of them into my current like 2025 one. So this is my book of the year page, and it's basically just like my favorite book every month, and then I like basically have to like work it down until I get my favorite book of the year. I'm thinking my favourite book of the year is probably going to be Kingdom of Ash because no book as of right now has beat it, and there's literally like a week left of the year. So I don't think I'm reading anything better than Kingdom of Ash in the next week. Another page that I have is this little TBR cart that I drew. Do not judge my drawing skills. I have really bad drawing skills. But this was just like a TBR cart of books that I wanted to try and read before the end of the year. And I did actually pretty decently on this list. I only haven't read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books on the list, and I don't think I'm going to get to any of those before the end of the year. But I will just read them next year. But the ones that I put on the list were Breathe With Me by Becca Mack, Conclave by Penelope Douglas, Riding the Line by Emma Lucy, The Reno by Maggie Grant, A City of Flames by, I think it's Rena Vasquez, Fate Hollow Academy Term 3 by Lyra Winters, Wildcard by Elsie Silver, Crescent City 3 by Sarah J Maas, Gloves Off by Stephanie Archer, Nightfall by Penelope Douglas, Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, Love Like Farms by B.K. Borison, Fire Night by Penelope Douglas, Fate Hollow Academy Term 4, which is the last book in that series, which is by Lyra Winters, and then The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. And I have read, like I said, I've read a lot on that list, and then the colours I've highlighted them is basically just what I rated each of them. And then the only other book related page I really have in here is my favourite books page. This I basically just wanted to do just because I wanted to just add a picture of all my favourite books onto here. So I've got just a bunch of my favourite series. I've got Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young and For Whom the Bell Tolls. And also The Love of My Afterlife by Kirsty Greenwood. This book is so good. It's so freaking good. And these are just all books that are basically kind of like my god tier books, if I'm being completely honest. And then the final one is my bookshelf tracker for the year. So this is every single book I've read this year. As of right now, I finished 94 books, and each colour that the book is highlighted corresponds to the what I rated it. So I basically have like a little system here, but I've kind of updated this system for 2026 because I was really struggling with making sure I got the colours correctly. But yeah, no, this is my 2025 books that I've read. I'm kind of hoping to try and finish 6 more books before the end of the year so I can get to 100. But I don't know if that's going to be possible. We will have to see. Yeah, these pages are from that same shop that I got the other one from, and I really love this. I love having a little bookshelf tracker to just fill in. And then I think, is that everything? Yeah, and that's everything in my 2025 journal. This is the journal I got myself for 2026. So I just open it up, it literally just says 2026 reading journal. And then on this page, I have my highlighter key, which is basically just a key of what the name of each highlighter is, and like what that corresponds to in my rating system. And then I've just got my title page. Then the next page is Book of the Year and Book of the Month, which is basically the kind of the same thing, but I just wanted to have like a bigger place to like write the book title or to print out the if my camera will focus. There we go. I just really want to have a bigger space to basically either write the title bigger or print out a picture of the cover. Then we have a reading tracker page and 100 book challenge page because I want to try and read 100 books next year. The alphabet challenge, which is basically read through the alphabet with either book titles or author names. Book wish list page. An audiobook tracker for basically when I only read audiobooks. I don't want to try and read as many listen to as many audiobooks next year. So hopefully I only use this one singular page because I only do one single page. Then I have a reading log, which is basically title, started on, finished on, and my rating of the book. And I did 3 pages of that just because I want to try and read a lot of books. Then I did another bookshelf tracker, and I have my little key at the top of the page for what all my rating colours are. Then I have a basically TBR page that I'm going to fill in. And then I have a book series tracker, and then I think that is it. Those are all the ones I have so far. And then the rest of the pages I think I'm just going to fill in with book reviews. And I have, for the things I got off Etsy, it has like book review pages that I can print out and stick in, which I'm going to be doing. Those are just both of my journals from this year and for next year, and I'm very excited to get started on my journal for next year. So I just went through and wrote out my list of my 2026 books that I want to read in 2026. But I thought before I read out that list to you guys and basically go through the books that I want to read technically this year now, as you guys are watching this, I thought I would go through my 25 books in 2025 list and go over basically all the ones I read and then the ones I didn't read. Now, in regards to the ones I didn't read 5 of them, and that is because all those five, like 4 of the 5 were parts of, well, 3 of them were parts of series that I just DNF'd and decided I didn't want to continue. One of them I got rid of the book because I just wasn't really in the mood to read it anymore, because my reading tastes have changed quite a lot this year, so it wasn't really part of my reading taste anymore. And then the last one, I've written the title here wrong, I've just realised, and that one has been re-added to my list for 2026, because it is still one that I really do want to read. So let's start off with the ones that I didn't read off this list. So first up we have The Lucky List, which I can't remember who this is by. I think it's Rachel Lippincott, possibly. Let me double check one second. Yeah, it's by Rachel Lippincott, and I did want to read this book for a while, but the longer I had it on my shelves, the more I just realised that it wasn't really one that I was very much interested in anymore. And like, I was like, okay, do you know what? I'm just really not going to read this. I don't have any interest in reading it, and I didn't want to force myself to read it, because then it would have put me in a reading slump. So I ended up getting rid of that one quite a while ago now, to be honest. Then we have The Intimacy Experiment by, I think it's Rosie Danan. This is the sequel to The Roommate, and I read The Roommate at the start, or like midway through 2023, I think it was. And I really, really enjoyed that book when I read it. But then I had the sequel, The Intimacy Experiment, on my shelves for such a long time, and I just never had the urge to pick it up. And then it got to a point where I just didn't want to read it. So I ended up deciding to DNF that duology and just not read book 2. You don't technically need to read book 2 because it's a duology of interconnected standalones. Because like the story doesn't continue on. Book 2 is about a different couple. So yeah, I just didn't really have any interest in that at all. Then next we had Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I was reading the Harry Potter series in 2024. And I read the first 5 books in that series, and I hated book 5 so goddamn much. The audacity that book had to being that long with just nothing interesting about it. Like, I don't particularly like that movie anyway, but then reading the book just made it worse. Like, I really enjoyed like the first 3 books, and I thought book 4 was okay. But then book 5 was just so bad. It was like 800 pages of nonsense. So I tried to get myself to read the last 2 books in the series, but then I was like, I just can't do this. So I ended up getting rid of the series. And then the last one that I didn't read, which is the one that I added to my 26 books in 2026, was 1,000 Broken Pieces by Tilly Cole. As you guys would have seen, that book got added to my January TBR, I think it was. I, for some reason, put it as 1,000,000 Broken Pieces on my 25 books in 2025, but you know what, it's fine, I'm just stupid. But yeah, no, I just didn't really have any interest in reading it this year. Like, I wanted to read it, but also it's a very sad book, or at least like the first book was quite sad, so I didn't really want to put myself through that at any point this year, especially after I read Releasing 10, because damn, that book caused me a lot of emotional damage, okay?
Emotional damage.
So yeah, that book just messed with my head. So I didn't want to read another really sad book. I say that as if I didn't read other sad books this year, but you know, oh well. So those are the 5 books off my 25 books in 2025 that I didn't read. So let's go over the ones I did read. So up first we have Wild Eyes and Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I read these 2 books earlier this year. I enjoyed the Rose Hill series, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I did the Rebel Blue Ranch or Chestnut Springs series by her. It was fine, it was good. I enjoyed a couple of the books, but I just didn't love them as much as I did with Rebel Blue or Chestnut Springs. Out of Elsie Silver's books that I've read up to right now, because I think I read like 9 of her books this year, I do have to say that Chestnut Springs one is my favourite. I really enjoyed Rebel Blue Ranch, and a couple of the books in that, I think maybe one of the books in that series got a 5-star from me. But yeah, no, I'm honestly thinking of changing one of the other ones to a 5-star, because I think about that another book 4 in that series a lot, as well as I do book 3, which were my 2 favourites in the series. So yeah, but I definitely have to say that the Rose Hill series I wasn't as big a fan of as I was the other books in her other series. Then we have Reckless by Lauren Roberts, which is book 2 in the Powerless series. I quite enjoyed this. I didn't enjoy it as much as I did book 1 and the novella, but it was still good. It just felt a little bit like a fillery kind of book to me a bit, so I didn't enjoy it as much, but I think I still gave it like a 4.5. Then next we have Off to the Races, a photo finish, and the front runner. I don't know why I didn't add the last book onto this list. It's probably because I didn't own it at the time, because I just wanted to go off my physical TBR when I was doing this list last year. And those are the first 3 books in the Rebel Blue Ranch series by Elsie Silver. I really enjoyed this series. It was very fun. I think I gave like Off to the Races a 4-star, and then I gave a photo finish like a 4.5 or something. I can't be 100% sure, but I know I definitely gave the front runner a 5-star because I absolutely loved that book and I devoured it. I listened to the audiobook of it when I was traveling to and from my brother's. That's how you know I loved the book, because I remember where I was exactly when I was reading it, because me and my mum were going to my brother's for the day and I listened to the audiobook while I was traveling there and back. Up next we have Play With Me by Becca Mack. This book renewed my faith in the Playing for Keeps series, and as you guys know, I did not have a good time with the first book in this series, but for Play With Me, I loved that book so much. It's a 5-star, and then that book renewed my hope for the rest of the series. I've now officially finished the series, and me reading book number 5 in the series is going to be in a reading vlog that comes out in the next couple of weeks, I think. But, you know, I absolutely loved that book. Actually, it might be next week that the vlog of me reading that book is in. Yeah, it's next week that video comes out. So yeah, you'll be seeing me reading the last book in the Playing for Keeps series next week. But yeah, no, Play With Me, I absolutely loved it. I loved Jenny and Garrett so much. That book was a 5-star. I absolutely adored it. And I'm glad I added it to this list. Then we have Next of Kin and Next to You by Hannah Bonham Young. I didn't enjoy these ones as much as I did Out on a Limb. I think I gave Next of Kin a 3.5 star, and then I gave Next to You a 3.75. So I enjoyed both of these books, but they didn't give me the same feeling that Out on a Limb did. You guys probably already know this because I mentioned it in my end of year book tag video. But yeah, no, those books weren't as good to me as Out on a Limb was, but they were still good. They were still fun, easy little reads. I just wasn't as big a fan of them as I was the other book that I'd read by her. Okay, so we have 11 more on the list. So next we have The Way I Am Now by, I think it's like Amber Smith or something. It's going to annoy me if I don't know, so I'm going to look check. Yeah, by Amber Smith. I gave this one a 5-star. This duology is very emotional, and it's a very hard one to read. It's The Way I Used to Be and The Way I Am Now. I don't think I have the words to describe how like devastating and beautiful that duology is. It's definitely one that you need to check your trigger warnings for, because it definitely covers something quite traumatizing that a lot of people won't be comfortable reading. It feels weird to say I liked this duology, because obviously it covers quite a sad and triggering topic, but it was just like a beautiful duology to read, and it's something that a lot of people do actually go through. Okay, next we have, I'm going to say all these ones together because they're by the same author. We have The Play, The Dare, The Legacy, The Graham Effect, and The Dixon Rule, all by Al Kennedy. I wanted to finish off the Briar U and like off-campus universe. So I read all of these in January. I started off I think I read most of them during like a 24-hour readathon. I have to say, I really enjoyed The Play. I did not enjoy The Dare, honestly, at all. I think I gave that one a 3-star. The Legacy I enjoyed, but I think I gave it like a 3.5. It was fine. It was just a little book of like a bunch of little novellas, and I'm always a bit weird with novellas. Like some of them I can absolutely love, and like I'm like, oh my god, 5-star, amazing. And then there's other ones where I'm just kind of like, what did this really add to the story? But then The Graham Effect and The Dixon Rule, I absolutely love these. I love the Campus Diaries trilogy. Like I love The Graham Effect, The Dixon Rule, and The Charlie Method. I read all 3 of them in 2025, and they were just so, so good. They were such good books, and I'm just... Honestly, I think when it comes to like my ranking of like that entire universe, it probably goes off campus, Campus Diaries, and then Briar U, just for the fact that I didn't enjoy the Briar U books as much as I did off campus and the Campus Diaries series. And like I'm really excited for the one that comes out this year, which is Love Song, because it's following Blake Logan and I think it's Wyatt Graham. So, you know, fun. No, I'm really looking forward to that one. Okay, next we have Skyshade by Alex Astor. This is the 3rd book in the Lightlock series. I actually ended up reading this at the end of 2024. I finished this I read this on Boxing Day of 2024, December 26th. So, and I gave that a 3-star. I was kind of disappointed with Skyshade, I'm not gonna lie. It might have just been my headspace at the time when I read it, because it was just after Christmas and I was feeling a bit bleh. But just something felt a bit missing in that one for me. I still enjoyed the book and I still enjoyed the series, but I just didn't like that one as much as I did book 1 and 2. And then the final ones, my absolute babies, my loves, my just... the thing I started this year with, we have Tower of Dawn, Empire of Storms, and Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J Maas, the last 3 books in the Throne of Glass series. I started 2025 off with a bang. I read 3 incredible, really long books at the start of 2025. I chose violence when I started 2025. And, oh wait, no, I skipped one. There's another one. So these aren't the last ones, but these are like the ones that really started off my year so good. I read these 3 books so quickly. I think I read Kingdom of Ash in like a couple of days. Bear in mind, I did have the audiobook for it. I like having audiobooks with fantasy books, just so I can immersive read, because I feel like it gets me more into the story. But I absolutely love the Throne of Glass series. It's one of my all-time favourite series, and Kingdom of Ash is honestly my top book of 2025. Like, as I'm filming this right now, I still have a week left in the year, like I said before, and I still don't think there's going to be a book that tops Kingdom of Ash for me, just because that book, the way it concluded that series was just so incredible. Like, it's just a phenomenal series, and I like tear up thinking about some of the scenes just because, I want to reread Throne of Glass, I'm not going to lie. I want to get the hardback editions of Throne of Glass and Akhtar, just so I can reread them and like highlight and annotate them, just because I'm genuinely obsessed. And then the last one that I accidentally skipped over is because I'm like grouping certain ones together. We have Taming 7 by Chloe Walsh. I don't think anything needs to be said about this. You guys know my addiction to the Boys of Tommen series. I love Chloe Walsh, and I love the Boys of Tommen series so much. I think I have to say that Taming 7, even though I still gave it a 5-star, it isn't like in the top of my like Boys of Tommen books for that series, just because like I have such an attachment to like Binding and Keeping, Binding and Keeping 13, Redeeming 6, and Releasing 10. Like those ones are like the ones that are like always come to the forefront of my mind. Like Saving 6 and Taming 7, I still enjoy both of them. They still both got 5 stars from me, but I don't feel as much of an emotional attachment to them. I still love Taming 7, I love Gibbsy, and I love Claire, and I cannot wait for their next book. I don't know. It just doesn't bring out the same emotions in me that the other books in the series do, but it's still a phenomenal book, and I still absolutely love Taming 7. But I think a lot of people have the same opinion as me, that it's just Taming 7 doesn't bring out the same emotions in them as like the rest of the books in the series do. But yeah, no, those are my 25 books in 2025, and just like how I kind of felt about all of them. And then I had another list from this year, which was my 12 books from 12 friends, and I did even worse on this list, I'm not gonna lie. Out of the 12 books, I only read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, so you know. And I don't ask me which friends recommended which book, because I do not remember, because I was stupid and didn't write the names next to them. So yeah, on my list of 12 books from 12 friends, I have A Wish for Us by Tilly Cole, Belladonna, don't know who that's by, The Fault in Our Stars by, I think it's John Green, The Ex-Hex, no clue who that's by, The Servants and the Wings of Night, Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover, Magnolia Parks by, I think it's Jessa Hastings, Not Another Love Song by Julie Soto, Reckless by Laura Roberts, yes, that was on 2 lists, The Legacy by Al Kennedy, another one on the other list, Taming 7, obviously on the other list, and then Kingdom of Ash, also on the other list. So I won't talk about Reckless, The Legacy, Taming 7, and Kingdom of Ash, because I've just spoken about them from my 25 books in 2025. But like the only other one on this list I read was Not Another Love Song by Julie Soto, and I did not like that book. I gave it a 2-star. I listened to that book when I was traveling to see someone, and I think it was on a vlog that I posted on my channel actually, and yeah, no, just like the first half of the book was really, really good. I genuinely really enjoyed the first half of the book, but the second half of the book, it just felt like it went from 0 to 100 within like 5 pages, and I was like, what the hell? You couldn't have like made this not so quick? I don't know. I just really didn't enjoy that book, and it just kind of bored me. And then as for the other books on this list, the ones that I didn't read, I think I still only own 2 of them. The rest of them I got rid of because I just had no interest in reading them, and that is the exact reason why they weren't read. I think, yeah, the only 2 I still have on this list is Serpent on the Wings of Night and A Wish for Us. Those 2 I still have interest in reading. I just didn't end up getting to them this year because I was reading a bunch of other books. But you know, the rest of them just got sold and never read. Whoops. But you know, that is it for those 2 lists. And now we have my 26 books in 2026. I decided to write these ones in my bullet journal just because I had these like books to read pages, and there isn't enough spaces for me to add all the books that are on my physical TBR. So I thought I would just add my 26 books in 2026 list on here. So we have, first up we have Keep Me Never by Megan Brandy. I'm very skeptical about reading this book just because I haven't enjoyed the rest of the books in the Boys of Alex series as much as I did the first one, Say You Swear. But I figured because I've committed to the rest of the series, I may as well read the last book in the series. So that is why Keep Me Never is on this list. Then we have Dust Storm by Maggie Gates. I picked this up pretty recently from the works, and it sounded pretty good. And I've read another Maggie Gates book, which is called Seven of Hearts, and I really enjoyed that. I gave it a 5-star, so I wanted to read another book by her. Then up next we have Faking with Benefits by Lily Gold. I read Nanny for the Neighbour a couple of weeks ago, and I absolutely ate that book up. It was such a quick, easy read, and I really just enjoyed it. So, you know, I was like, I need to read more, and I bought myself Faking with Benefits when I bought Nanny for the Neighbours as well. So, and also Faking with Benefits is on my January TBR. Okay, the next, number 4, we have Alive and Wells by Bailey Hannah. This is a book that is, I think, on my, yeah, it's on my January TBR. And also, it's just a cowboy romance, and I really want to read it because it sounds really good. And I love me a cowboy romance, so why not? I've wanted more cowboy romances to read because obviously I've read all of the Elsie Silver ones that I have, and Fever Dream has not come out for a while. Then next we have The Rebel Witch by Kristen Cicerelli. This is the sequel to The Crimson Moth, and I read The Crimson Moth in 2024 and I really loved it, I bought myself The Rebel Witch this year intending to read it, and then I just never did. So I really want to read it next year, and I may need to reread The Crimson Moth first just because it has been so long since I read it. Then we have Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. I added this one to this list just for the purpose of the fact I have a video that's going to be coming later this year where I read the entire Shadowhunters universe. So I wanted to add Clockwork Angel to my list just because then it's an extra book that I can tick off my list. Then we have The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. I've had this one on my shelf for a while and it just sounds really interesting. And I've read the blurb of it just sounds really good, and it sounds exactly like my kind of book. It's a single parent one, so obviously I want to read it. Then we have 1,000 Broken Pieces by Tilly Cole. This one is the repeat offender from 2025 that I never read, and I do really want to read it. It's also on my January DBR. Then we have Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I started reading Abby Jimenez very recently, and I've read 2 books by her now, and I absolutely ate them up. They were so good, so I really want to read this one as well. And then I've also got another one of hers upstairs, which I think is called Say You'll Remember Me, which I bought when I got paid. Then we have A City of Flames by Rena Vasquez. This is a book that got me in 2024 for Christmas, and I meant to read it this year, in 2025, but I just never did. And I've read the blurb of it and it sounds really good. So then we have House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 3rd book in the Crescent City series, and I think we're going to be getting a new book in the ACOTAR series in 2026. So I'm really hoping, I really want to read Crescent City 3 just because I think you need to read that one before you can read the next book in the ACOTAR series. Then we have Indigo Ridge by Devaney Perry. This is one I've been wanting to read for such a long time, and I just keep putting it off for some reason, so I definitely want to read that next year. Well, this year. I keep saying next year because but as I'm filming this, like I've said, it is currently still December. But this year, from when this video goes up. Then we have Unsteady by Peyton Corrin. I need to... 1 second. I forgot to put a line on the T, so it said Paylon Corrin. But it's meant to be Peyton Corrin. Hockey romance. A lot of people seem to really love that series, so I want to give it a go. Then we have The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. I read The Bodyguard by Catherine Center, and I really enjoyed it. And that one's been The Bodyguard's been turned into a movie, which I'm very excited about because it's got Jared Padalecki and Leighton Meester in it, and they're 2 actors who I love. And yeah, I picked up The Rom-Commers, so I really want to give that one a go. Then we have Rose in Chains by Julie Soto. I picked this up from Waterstones, and it just sounds really good, so I really want to give it a read. And then Direbound by Sable Sorensen. These are just those 2 are just 2 fantasies that I really want to read because I've heard good things about them, and the blurbs that I read from them would just sound really good. And I'm just really interested in them. And also, apparently, Rose in Chains is inspired by Hermione, and anyone who knows me knows that I'm a massive Hermione shipper. It's one of my favourite ships. Then we have Fate Hollow Academy Term 3 and 4, which is the last 2 books in the Fate Hollow Academy series. I really want to read this because I read the first 2 this year. So yeah, I really want to read those ones just because I really enjoyed the first 2. And then the next couple are a couple of the next ones are ones that haven't come out yet. So we have In Her Own League by Liz Tomford, which is the novella for the Windy City series. And I'm obsessed with the Windy City series, as you guys should know by now. Then we have Fever Dream by Elsie Silver, which is the first book in her next series, which I think is called the Emerald Lake series. So obviously I'm picking that up because Elsie Silver is an auto-buy author for me. Then we have Take a Hike by Maggie Grant. This is the sequel to The Reno, which I read a couple of months ago now, and I absolutely loved that book so freaking much. It's actually not called The Reno anymore. I think it's called Fix Them Up, because it got trad published, but then the next book is called Take a Hike, and I'm very excited about that. Then we have Love Song by Elle Kennedy, which I mentioned before, which I'm really excited to read. Then we have, this one isn't a new release, but this one is, the next I have The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden. I read The Housemaid pretty recently and I absolutely loved it, and I'm looking forward to going to seeing the movie, so I really also want to read book 2 and book 3 in the series. Then we have One Last Rodeo by Emma Lucy. This is another one that comes out this year. It's part of the, what's the series called? Willow Ridge series, which is Live Ranch Love and Riding the Line. I read both of those books and I really liked them. I gave them both, I think, 4 stars. Then we have The Throne of Broken Gods by Amber V. Nicole. This is the sequel to the Book of Azriel, which I read. God, I think I read that in like 2024. And I really, really enjoyed that book, but then I, for some reason, never picked up the second one. I don't know why. So I feel like I need to reread the first one to then pick up that one and read it. But I really enjoyed book 1 in the series, so I definitely want to continue it. And then the last one is Vital Blindside by Hannah Cowan, which is the last book in her Swift Hat Tricks trilogy. I've been reading a lot of Hannah Cowan recently, and I just really want to finish that trilogy. So I thought, why not add it to the list? But yeah, no, those are all of the books on my list of 26 books in 2026. I'm not going to do 12 books from 12 friends this year, just because obviously, like, I didn't exactly do well with it in 2025. So I think I'm just going to stick to my 26 books in 2026 list this year. But yeah, no, that is another couple of things ticked off of my 2026 bookish reset. And yeah, I will catch up with you guys when I do the next thing. So as you all would have seen in my last clip, I updated my physical TBR spreadsheet and I added all my books to my physical TBR shelf on my Goodreads. But after that I still had two things I need to do, which was do my reading goal for the new year and reorganise my bookshelves. But I realised that this video is already just under an hour long, so I've decided I'm going to leave reorganising the bookshelves until the new year. And I will make it a different video. But it is officially January 1st now. So let's set my reading goal on Goodreads. So I've already done it on my Storygraph and my Fable because I was able to do that at midnight. But on Goodreads, it's annoying and you have to wait until it's like, you know, early in the morning to do it. So let's screen record and click on start your challenge. Okay, my book goal for this year is going to be 100. Save and continue. And we have my reading goal set for the new year. I think this is going to be kind of easy for me to achieve this year just because I ended up reading 98 books. Last year, I literally finished my last book at 1:45 to midnight. So I think getting to 100 this year is going to be pretty easy considering how many I read in 2025. But yeah, no, that is it for my 2026 Bookish reset. I am sorry that this video is so freaking long. I did not intend for it to be this long, but that is just how it worked out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment and subscribe and hit that little notification bell below so you know when I upload. I upload every Wednesday at 5 p.m. with a sit down video and then every Saturday at 4 p.m. with a reading vlog. But yeah, no, that is it for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch you next time.